It's morning, and the day is filled with endless possibilities. We're so glad to have you listening. Have a fantastic morning. Fantastic Radio UK, home of the Afropolitan.
Akamunke, bienye monka mundima. Akamundi, bienye monka mundiye. Bienye mana wara nyadoma, moye kela John Ledimfa. Akamunke, akamunke, bienye monka mundima. Akamundi, bienye monka mundiye. Bienye mana wara nyadoma, moye kela John Ledimfa. Wayna imaye, idu sudaye mofila. Akamunke, bienye monka mundima. Akamundi, bienye monka mundiye. Bienye mana wara nyadoma, moye kela John Ledimfa. Warabana la farinya, oye la marala do de fe. Sabajugu mambe wula jankono, ofena na maraba. Mokela nyawo nyama, jombeni de nyeba. Waiti nyala nyawo nyama, ambe na maraba. Akamuke, nianye monka mundima. Ofo. Akamundi, nianye monka mundiye. Bienye mana wara nyadoma, moye kela John Ledimfa. Wayna imaye, idu sudaye ni sodia. Akamunke, bienye monka mundima. Akamundi, bienye monka mundiye. Bienye mana wara nyadoma, moye kela John Ledimfa. Mburinsano do bene polo baba mbodima. Ibe woke polo kanegeye ibodo nekiye. Uwari mugo mimbi bolola odo mobili de la. Kodi deno mama mama ni pama kogongo maka. Akamunke, nianye monka mundima. Nianye monka mundiye. Bienye mana wara nyadoma, moye kela John Ledimfa. Wimva inai, idu sudaye ni sodia. Akamunke, bienye monka mundima. Ufo. Akamundi, bienye monka mundiye. Bienye mana wara nyadoma, moye kela John Ledimfa. Bazindo bene polo baba mbodima. Ambe woka la nyare la Sheikh Faliyoro ibodo nebiye. Wari mogu mimbi bolo banki odo villa de la. Obedi deno mama mogo la dombaga ni bolo here kakamuke. Nianye monka mundima. Ufo wala. Nianye monka mundiye. Bienye mana wara nyadoma, moye kela John Ledimfa. Kone ye John Le, ne ye wala fanyu manga John Le. Akamunke, ne ye John Le, ne le wala fanyu mala John Le. Ne ye John Le, ne ye wala deni la John Le. Bienye mana wara ne ye John Le, kone ye furu genyu mala John Le. Ofena le ye ne la John Le. Segenya nyoma la Jamaica, Baranyuma, wallahi balimanyuma la jonde. Yeah. Dianye mana waranya doma, mwekela jonde difa. Akamuke, dianye monga mundima. Akamundi, dianye monga mundie. Ofo. Dianye mana waranya doma, mwekela jonde difa. Dianye mana waranya doma, mwekela jonde difa. Akamuke, dianye monga mundima. Akamundi, dianye monga mundie. Dianye mana waranya doma, mwekela jonde difa. Akamuke, ndianye monka mundima. Akamundi, ndianye monka munkie.
Empowering conversations, current affairs, and collections of fantastic music made with you in mind. Thank you for choosing Fantastic Mornings. This is Fantastic Radio UK.
It's a very good morning to you. Lovely morning made for you. And a beautiful, wonderful, great morning started. My name is Kojo Bonti-Amoako. Her name is Simone Uncle. Simone, good sunny morning.
It certainly is. Yeah. Beautiful day. Yeah. And I'm sure it's going to remain as such.
According to the weather.
Yeah. We had a little bit of a short downpour yesterday afternoon, but other than that, it didn't stay for long. So we're expectant of a lovely, glorious day of sunshine again. And and we'll enjoy it. Yesterday was the hottest day apparently in the calendar for the year.
Really?
Yeah. And I felt that. We felt that honestly. Yeah. It's just
okay.
Yeah, but in the it got uncomfortable because it's very hot and all that stuff. But I'm not complaining about that at all because it's very rare that we're blessed with great sunshine and heat.
Absolutely. Same here. I'm not complaining at all. I am not complaining at all because when on Sunday was when I really felt it. I felt it on Sunday. It was unbearably hot. I mean, I was all over the place. I came in and I was out, but it was quite heavy for me. So Sunday was, but yesterday I did different things. I was all over the place checking on different things. Talking of yesterday, Jeff Bezos and his friends went to space. Jeff Bezos and his colleagues went to space. There's a young man who's from Netherlands. He is the youngest to have gone into space yesterday, and a Korean gentleman who was an ex-military guy and also went into study as a doctor, and a woman who was denied to fly into space because of her gender. And yesterday history was made. So Mr. Jeff Bezos and his team, we want to say congratulations to you. They're looking at space travel and going into space. They're making it easy, accessible to other people. Our own Mr. Richard
accessible to other people with big pockets. Well, I haven't got the salary of Jeff Bezos, so have you? But anyway, well done to them.
Simone, so that's what it did, and we would listen. If we want to go, we will have to work our way, and at some point we will book it. That's if we want to go. That is if we want to go, right? I don't have any intentions of going into space at the moment or traveling into space. But what got to me when I was watching one of them, the youngest of them, said he's always wanted to travel to space, and to have the opportunity to go into space was a dream come true. And I felt, what is it that as listeners and as individuals, as we go through the day, what is it that you've always wanted to do? What is it that you've always wanted to achieve? And what are you doing towards that? If it's one thing to want to do something, it's another thing working towards it. It's about wanting badly what you want and applying yourself. So I want to sort of glean from that and take the parallel to say that if you want to do something badly, you do it. Mr. Jeff Bezos, according to him, has always wanted to go. And he wasn't sure whether it was a thing he wanted to do, but he stepped in and applied himself. But what really got through to me was the woman, the older woman who got her way in there because the society and everybody said, oh, you are a woman, you can't do this. Women can't travel to space and blah, 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 blah. And over the years, she never did. They never, you know, she didn't do it. But this time she flew and went with them and went to the space with them. And she came out very, very happy. I was watching them on television and I was very proud of them. This morning, we're going to reflect life through the word or the spoken word. Our special guest will be coming through today and having a brilliant conversation with us. But today happens to be the 21st of July, 2021. It's 7:11. That's 11 past 7. My name is Kojo Bonti-Amoako. Her name is Simone Uncle. You find Simone at Uncle Simone, or you find me at Bonti-Amoako on Twitter. We go get music, get some commercials through, and as soon as we come back, we will get the conversation moving and so swiftly kicking. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fantastic Radio. My name, once again, is Kojo Bonti-Amoako. Her name is Simone Uncle. Good morning.
Simone and Kojo on Fantastic Mornings, 7 to 8 a.m. Join the conversation at On Air at fantasticradio.co.uk.
Abusadora, eres una abusadora, con esa espalda afuera, nene, esa tela tan linda y ese don de domadora, mi amor. Cuando mueve tu cadera cualquiera se vuelve loco, te lo digo de verdad. Eres una abusadora, mujer tentadora.
Ilé alágbẹ̀dẹ mò ń lọ. Wọ́n lé tẹ́tọ́ sámọ́ tẹ́kẹ̀lẹ́ kọ́ọ̀bù. Bọ́ máa kẹ́lẹ́ kọ́ọ̀bù. Sempalompam wọlọ́mọdé. Somebody day, we go brighten up my day. He go take away my sins and my shame. I don't see your face, it is shine of love and grace.
Ode to Boobs by Pip Bishop. Dear Boobs, this heartfelt apology goes out to you all for moaning you're too big or moaning you're too small, for wishing you didn't hang like puppies in sacks or just disappear when we lie on our backs, for squashing you flat with a minimising cup or those torture bras that push you right up. Why is it always your bad points we mention, like your inverted nips or your water retention? Why don't we love you as much as our men, or the babies that love you all over again? Maybe we're scared to show you we care, in case one day you're simply not there. Make it up to your boobs with some breakthrough breast cancer TLC. Touch, look and check. To find out more during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, visit breakthrough.org.uk.
She no like it, got on naughty, but she go chop if you give her cucumber. Waka from Transamadi till her leg begin shake her with a locumba. Baby, make her give you solid, make her even mix am with her and I walk pow. Hey, wait, let me tell you. So she dey feel and da 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 da. She dey feel and da.
Yeah. 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 Shorty know the green like I go town. Yeah, I know what mommy close market.
Jenny see me so some merry go round. What the sound woman who's a no parking. When I'm in the mood, I'm a quick one. I say, baby, brother, that me chana veggie milkshake. She don't wanna give it up to no one. I say, forget it, when I was too hate. But I think it's too late.
Come in.
Right.
Ah, Mr. Pilkington, and how are we today?
Yeah, I'm all right, Doctor. Yeah, I've just come for my checkup.
Okay, then, pop your pants off.
What?
Just pop your pants off.
Well,
and,
I've got to take my pants off.
Well, because I have to pop my finger up your
what?
to check your prostate gland.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I am worried about it because prostate cancer kills 10,000 men every year in Britain.
You can check that out if I get any symptoms.
Well, there aren't always symptoms, and symptoms do vary from man to man. So the best way to check it out, so I just pop my finger up there
I'm really not
and have a
happy with
feel.
this. Just
don't worry about it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
No.
I don't know why he was worried. You probably saved his life there.
Does he have to be here?
He's just a mate. Don't worry about him. He's just watching me at work.
For more information, visit the Prostate Cancer Charity website. Real men know all about it.
Me and my people be rolling. Scheming on you and your homies. The very first day of summer. All rolled out in a Hummer Bay. Me and my people be rolling. Scheming on you and your homies. Me and my people be rolling. All rolled out in a Hummer Bay.
Oh yeah. Well, the yoga. Them go bow down my head. Move say about pam panana. I've been boom nessa. And go see say I'm a chepo waka. Sikati sadua. Eko neba. Bon I'm the say yeah you.
Never felt so ugly, pretending that he loves me. Sometimes it's just not money. Never had to afford me. Now I'm sick and tired. You just take it right. Knowing I forgive you. You ain't here for dinner, like I'm up for dinner. I love you for your inner.
For a cheap and cost-effective driveway, choose Northern Resin Driveways. We use the same high-quality products as those other costly companies, but because we're a small company, we don't have sky-high overheads, passing on our savings direct to you. With years of experience, no gimmicks, no pushy sales tactics, highest quality materials, and an insurance-backed 10-year guarantee, grab your free quote today at northernresindriveways.co.uk.
Driven to be the best.
It's morning, and the day is filled with endless possibilities. We're so glad to have you listening. Have a fantastic morning. Fantastic Radio UK, home of the Afropolitan.
Thank you. Still the home of possibilities. 19 minutes past 7. And we are having a blissful, wonderful morning as we start the day enjoying every bit of the music. You heard Mabuse from South Africa. You heard something from Gambia. You had a track from Cameroon. You had music all over. You had one from Ghana as well called Sarkodie. And he calls it odomido, something. Literally what it means is, my woman, I'm so much in love with you. And talking about women and talking about the people of the African descent, from the Caribbean descent. There's a beautiful, 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 beautiful poem that Miss Simone Uncle sent to me. And I read through it and I'm saying, Simone, wherever you got this thing from, we are going to share with the listeners.
I really wish I could credit the author, because it's beautifully written.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. But anyway, it needs a man to read it.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. It needs to come from a man. It has more resonance.
You need a man to read it.
Yeah, there you go. It's your turn.
Okay. You got some community diaries for us today?
I do, yeah. And we can do that bit. I'll do the community diaries, because it's actually, we've got a event today at 10 o'clock that somebody might be interested in. So I'm actually just going to, I don't know if you remember the Africa Centre in Covent Garden initially.
Okay.
Yeah, so they relocated to Southwark a few years ago. Actually, I think it was, let me just say, they reopened the doors to the public during lockdown, or during our several lockdowns. So they reopened on the Thursday, the 20th of May, 2021. But they've actually been placed or relocated to Southwark for a few years now. It was originally founded in 1964 at 38 King Street, Covent Garden. And wherever the years it held over many art exhibitions, conferences, lectures. I remember actually going there for dances as well. So I tried to be very formal about it. Yeah, there were raves. We went to raves, and they had like lots of different artists there. So it was a very generic space in Covent Garden, and it was sad to see it go, but very pleased to see it re-emerge in Southwark. And yeah, so it's still hosting a variety of cultural events.
Okay.
And a gallery and a meeting hall and restaurant and bar and bookshop. So that's what's in the new space.
Right.
And they recently also refreshed their brand identity to demonstrate the evolution of their charity. They actually looked at their logo, and which incorporates now Asian writing symbols across Africa that would tell their new narrative, really, from Imazi embroidery symbols, Egyptian hieroglyphs, Adinkra symbols, Nabisi symbols, Yaka symbols, and Ndebele mural symbols. All that's kind of incorporated or influenced the new logo that represents the Africa Centre now in Southwark. And what they've said of that to describe that is they've used the ancient symbols as a start in the recollection of history and presenting it anew to its people as a way to celebrate the greatness that we are. And I thought that's beautifully coined to explain, just the new identity, the revolution of the brand. Like I said, they've been going since 1964. Started off in King Street, Covent Garden, and now it exists in Southwark, not far off from the station, actually. So what we have today at 10 till 5, for anyone that's interested, you must register via Eventbrite. It's called Africa Innovate. It's an international online conference for sustainable development in Africa, featuring a number of talented innovators from across the continent. This event is designed for students aged 18 plus, makers, educators, researchers, entrepreneurs, industry experts, and they will all exchange their knowledge and develop innovative solutions for sustainable development in Africa. So it'd be a networking opportunity as well. So for young people, all different generations, basically, and people that are developed in their craft, like I said, makers, educators, researchers, entrepreneurs, and industry experts, as well as those that are age 18 plus, will be it's open to all of those, and it's an opportunity and a platform to share ideas, discuss about entrepreneurship, and maybe taking that as opportunities into Africa and in future. So a great opportunity to network. You don't have to be committed till 10 till 5 today, but it starts from 10 o'clock. So register and receive your link and remote in and take a look at what's happening and what's on offer to you. You never know where you'll be connected to with networking events as well. Who you get to meet. Sometimes that's another door of opportunity for whatever you might be looking or seeking. So I'd say it's again, that's taking place today. It's hosted by the Africa Centre. you must register via Eventbrite, and it's from 10 till 5. So dip in and out, but register in advance and make sure you secure your ticket.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And also want to also say, if you live in the UK and you have events regarding Caribbeans or events concerning Caribbeans in the UK or Caribbeans on the island, please get in touch with us so that we can get it going. Okay, so if you have a Caribbean event or Caribbean cooking class or Caribbean lessons or Caribbean mentoring program or anything of that nature that you want us to share on our community diaries, please be in touch with myself, Simone at fantasticradio.co.uk, or myself, Bonti at fantasticradio.co.uk. We'll be loving to hear from you and see how best we can be of service to you. Talking about what Simone shared with me and what I'm going to do. I'll read it and I'll try my best to read it properly, because
I'm sure you do well.
I beg your pardon?
I'm sure you do it very well.
Well, I take your word for it. Yeah. And this is and this is how you go. He said, I see Egypt in her eyes and Sudan in her voice. I see Somalia in her face, Zimbabwe in her twist. I can see Congo in her thighs and Ghana in her lips. I see Senegal in her hair and Nigeria in her lips. I see Rwanda in her walk and Kenya in her dance. I see Uganda in her grace and Liberia in her smile. I see Sierra Leone in her and in her will, I see Sierra Leone in her will, Mali in her prose. I see South Africa in her captivating mind. I see Africa in her heart.
Yeah.
Where did you get this thing? Where did you get it from?
Oh, it appeared on another platform, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, wow, amazing words. I reread it, and I thought, beautifully written. And then I tried to find out where I could see it was published elsewhere. And I saw it republished several places, but nobody was able to sort of describe the author. So I was like, who did this? Who wrote that? But it's so beautifully done and succinctly just put together, and explains itself so well. But it just has this warmth and resonance. Even if you've not ever met people from all these different parts of the African continent, you still identify or relate. And it's lovely. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing with me. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing with me. As soon as you came through to me, I felt, I love this. It spoke of everything that as a people we represent and our story. And, I love what it said of the captivity, of the heart, of the grace, of the will, ability to possibility and dream big. I love it. Thank you. Talking about spoken word. Talking about spoken word.
Yeah,
exciting. Talking about spoken word. 7:28. Our guest today does that effectively. Simone, what have you got for us about our guest?
Oh, okay. Yes, we have a lovely woman, very extraordinarily talented woman.
Yes.
And she's Josephine Rollings. She's the founder of All About Us.
Yes.
And it's U.S, which means Understanding Society. So All About Understanding Society is her organization. But beyond that, she's also a poet, a teacher, author, mentor, and mother. Josephine has been involved in mentoring youth through her poetry in schools, prisons, and communities, where she delivers workshops and performs as a spoken word artist. Josephine's poems gave birth to the poet known as Realitie. So people may know her by both names. So Realitie,
her stage name.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a performance name, her stage name, and she's based her abilities to storytell the good and bad of realities in society, and these deal with issues such as youth behaviour, domestic violence, puberty, abuse, identity, sexuality, and drugs. So a lot of the topics are very emotive, but it strikes the chord and resonance for and to young people and what they're, you know, when they're going through the growing pains, etc., you know, and that confusion. She's been able to sort of express it through this art of spoken word artistry. So her public performances at the Word Up Slam in 2005, which she won, gave her recognition as a poet on a poetry circuit. And her performances have showcased in venues such as the Hackney Empire, Poetry in Motion, City Hall, Vibrations Festival, Great Yarmouth, the NHS Battersea Arts Centre, the World Festival Hall, radio shows and DVD magazines. Realitie has also shared the stage with poet greats such as Jean Binta-Breeze and opened a show for Jamaica's finest Muta Baruka. And Josephine, aka Realitie, has written 4 self-published books titles of her poems. And she's also released recorded album for poetry, 18 tracks, and it's called The Real Word. And in 2009, Realitie regained her title as Best UK Unsigned Poet of the Year. So she's been a very busy woman, and very all props to her in the sense that she's done so much. Very busy, but also serving and giving back and serving the community. So that's wonderful that she's been able to ascribe her art to. So we look forward to actually speaking to Realitie, and we hope to have Sina connect us shortly. Wonderful.
Good morning. Good morning. To you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
How are you?
Okay, not too bad. I haven't had a great sleep, but
okay. How have you been with the whole coronavirus and people, you know, deciding to take some time off? Personally, how are you doing? You keeping well?
In regards to everything that's going on, Corona, I'm fine.
Absolutely, me, I like that.
It's about a state of mind.
Yes.
So for me, that's what it is, and I'm mentally in a good place. I have my faith, I worship, so that's what I've spent my time doing, you know, during lockdown and things like that. So for me, I've been grounded in it all. So yeah. Okay.
Your journey into poetry. Let's get on with it. Your journey into poetry and spoken word. Where did it start?
That's an interesting one. I would say it found me. I didn't find it. I don't have that backstory that many have of that love of literature and keeping diaries as a child and, you know, that love of poetry. For me, it was a calling. That's how, you know, I relate to it. It was a calling. I woke up at a strange hour at something to 6 in the morning on the 11th of February, 2004. And I started writing on bits of paper. As oddly and strangely as that sounds, I don't know what it was. I just had this outpour of words, and I started to jot it down on a pad that was near me, a tiny little pad in my drawer. And that was my journey into spoken word. And then it was just an overflow and a spillage of words. That's why I say it's a calling. That's how I came about it.
It's amazing because some poets would approach things with metaphors, imagery, personification, symbols, all that stuff. But it seems that I don't want to underplay it, because it's not like, you know, when you're describing it and you're outpouring of words, etc., you're not going back. It doesn't sound like you're going back and editing it and perfecting it or anything like that. It actually just feels like something resonates or takes over, and you're able to just flood out all of these expressions. Is that correct? And you don't necessarily have it so structured, but it still just seemed to come together immediately rather than having to revise it in any way. Is that how your work, you know, appeared?
Pretty much. Pretty much. So it was just.
Well, that is amazing.
It was my cousin. You know, you need to maybe have some slight structure to it. But yeah, but generally, yeah, it's just an outpour, and I write about what comes to mind, but it's all life-related issues.
Wonderful. Oh, that's great. And you've been doing this since 2004. So when did you want to bring it? I mean, like you said, your cousin helped to, format it perhaps. And when did you bring it to the public arena? When did you feel comfortable to share it?
Well, I don't know if I was comfortable, but that was in 2005.
Wonderful. And how did that come about? Was that, how did you share it?
And then I started to group it and then sort of, put them under titles. And then, so I thought about a book. My cousin was speaking to me about that. Another good friend of mine, Dee, she also helped me structure stuff because, they like all of that type of literature and they're academic and, that's not my thing. And then I went to an event, Poetry in Motion. I used to do a big event once a month at Tiger. I don't know why I picked that place of all places, please. And then they had a little slot where you could do an open mic as well as their guest performances. And that night, after a lot of encouragement and stuff from my mate Mish, I went up and I performed this piece very nervously with my papers shaking in my hand. And that was the beginning of my performance in 2005.
Wonderful. So that was a very positive experience, I'll take it. So that's probably was a bit of a catalyst for you to get in front of other people.
I thought I was an absolute mess, but
well, you clearly made a great impression.
Was
good.
Received well, and that was my very first performance.
That's amazing. I've attended a few poetry events myself, but I've often been a spectator. And it's only now I'm trying to write myself, but I haven't got the artistic flow as you appear to have. So I have to go back and re-edit and make sure, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist sometimes. So that's probably what sort of, but I'm just beginning, and I think it's a bit of a lockdown thing as well. You sort of discover other things to do to keep you occupied. So, but, I've actually enjoyed it so far. Well, okay, I didn't know I could do this, but... the spoken word bit and getting in front of other people, wow, that's another level altogether. So
I wasn't keen on doing that at all, to be honest. And even though I had this body of work, the thought of sort of all eyes on me, being on the spot, didn't appeal to me at all. And then my cousin was just like, well, how do you expect people to be involved in your work? Or like I started grouping them, so they, I suppose, became books. And she said, well, how's people going to read your work if they don't know it, if they can't hear it, they don't know what it contains? And that was like, okay, I see your point. So
is that when you went into doing audio books or placing it onto album as well, as collating an album?
Yes, later on, because I've got a friend of mine, Sparky, who's a producer, and, he was saying, I think we should put it to audio and stuff. So I started to put something together. I think, gosh, that was a long time. I think that was 2008. I think I did the books. They were just self-published. They were just books I was doing at home, and I had some other people help me. Like printing at work, and it was all a little bit mad and up in the air. But people had, it wasn't the best presentation, but people appreciated the content and the rawness and the realness of the content. So for me, that's what it's about. It's about content more than structurally writing to perfection or how things should be standardly laid out. I don't really follow any of those rules, if I'm being honest. And I'm not a lover of literature in that way to be so absorbed in my words. No, I mean, even how many years on, it's not really a great interest to me. I don't read a lot because people assume, and I remember like in my early days of performing, people would ask, where do I do my research? And I couldn't understand. Naively, I honestly couldn't understand, like, why would you ask me that? And when I was talking to my friend Dee, who, like I said, is a, love of words and academia and stuff, she was saying, no, but that's what people generally do. And like in my head, I'm just thinking, okay, that's, that for me, that's, just a lot of work, like not in a lazy way, but I'm just I guess I'm not that involved and invested in that sense in terms of content. I just do what comes naturally. And for me to go away and have to research, then it's not fun anymore. And I'm not enjoying it because I feel like I'm studying, which is something, again, it's, you know, I don't like it. And it's something that I'm uncomfortable about. I never liked school.
It appears that your approach is more of a free flow artist, which actually works very well because, like you said, you know, it's a genuine outpouring. It's authentic that way. You know, it's not doctored in any way. It's not researched. You know, you actually are speaking of experiences that people find relatable and very real, and that's possibly the appeal that actually helps you connect with maybe the youth services that you also put into the community. Can you tell us a bit more about how that interplays, your poetry, your teaching, your mentoring, all of those things?
I think a lot of it comes from content, and also another thing is people assume that, I guess, because of the in-depth or the way that I speak about that I've actually gone through those experiences. So what I had was a lot of people confiding in me about, you know, the things that they've lived through and so on. And, you know, I'd come off stage and people would say, you know, you told my story. It was like you just saw right through me and things. And, you know, and then when, you know, during conversation, I'm like, this is not something I've experienced. They didn't quite understand how I could be so accurate without going through it. But I don't know, I have a way of, when I write, I feel through the experience. I don't know, I guess if it was acting, it would be like method acting, I think they call it. But I don't know, like I feel, so it's like I'm going through that journey with the, you know, the character. So I feel my way through everything. So I don't know, for me, it comes from a sincere place, you know.
Do you find sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're going to say something.
No, it just sounds like, I don't know if you thought about it that deeply, in a sense that, you know, do you define yourself as an empath? Is that possibly how you're able to write? And also people gravitate to you, to, like you said, you know, to be as a confidant, you know, so the empath in you probably draws those people to you. And then also, you know, with their permission, of course, you know, you're retelling a story of a character which resonates with a wider community and audience. So it takes a certain person to be able to do that, to harness it, to give it, and to continually give it as well, because it must be quite exhausting, maybe, or maybe it's quite enjoyable.
Yeah, it does emotionally. It takes a lot out of you, and also because I suffer with chronic fatigue, so it's quite draining, you know, just generally, and with that, so it's I struggle a lot with keeping up with myself, and that was a lot of what took me out of performing, to be honest, because it was the loss of memory and focus and concentration due to my health and chronic pain. So I don't perform as much, and I was, you know, getting to venues, I was exhausted. I couldn't remember pieces that I just knew back to front. I can't remember. My memory comes and goes. So, you know, a minute I'm sort of on it, and then it, you know, it subsides. So it's a little bit difficult, but you find your ways around things. And I think because I don't have an ego in that sense, I'm quite happy to offload my words onto others.
Yes.
Like I do a lot of collaborations with dancers, and unfortunately, I've had some pieces programmed at Sadler's Wells Theatre, although it's a dance theatre, where I've, you know, collaborated. And what I've had to do is give the dancers that are doing movement some of the words, so I don't have the pressure of having to maintain so much, you know.
That sounds like a great idea. That's a really very novel idea as well. I've not really heard of anyone approach it that way. Have you found that social media has helped serve you, especially during the lockdowns when you've not been able to go out and perform? And also, you know, it's energy taxing, if you were. So social media being a nice kind of way of keeping your work exposed and getting that exposure and continuing the, you know, that connection with the community.
I have to confess, I am terrible with social media. Seriously, would
Get
think
your cousin involved.
but I do not have a big social media presence at all. I rarely go on it, and I struggle to sort of be on it and, you know, just keeping with it and posting. Like, I'm really terrible like that.
You know, Reality.
I've pulled down my stuff off of YouTube because I modified my logo and I put outros and intros on my videos, and I've been meaning to upload them. Still haven't done it.
Right. Talking social media. There's a lady on social media just sent a message saying, Georgia Allen, saying that she is a natural artist. Good morning to you, Georgia Allen, for listening. It's a great natural artist, Reality. So Georgia Allen, thank you very much for listening. You know what? I have my good friend who is listening from Jamaica, right? And he's watching us from Jamaica, and he said, listen, Kojo, stop talking and let Reality do what she does. Listen, I'm taking instructions. I will stop talking. Reality, it's all down to you. Whenever you're ready, give us one of your work. Let's do it.
Okay, I'll do a piece. I'm working on a collection of poetry to do with men's emotions. Behaviors, mindsets, and so on, and I'll explain how that came about after. So so I'll read a piece from that. So like I say, these are all from male perspectives. This piece I'm going to read. Okay, so it's called Honestly Speaking. As a man, there are demands on my life. I sometimes feel overwhelmed, but I'm expected to man up. Under the surface, I think about walking away, but my commitments won't allow me to. The others look to me for support. In truth, I am barely standing. I'm expected to have all the answers. They want me to take the lead. I live between somewhere and nowhere, trying to find balance. I no longer recognize my reflection. Everybody assumes, nobody checks in. Where's my hug? Acknowledge my struggles, appreciate my efforts. I liken myself to a ticking time bomb, squeezing the pressures of life deep within, silenced by each expectation.
Wow.
That was... Simone, please carry on. Please,
I'm just thinking, I mean, I can't speak for all the men out there, but for the few conversations I've had, especially during lockdown, that would resonate with so many people. You know, this struggle, this eternal struggle of trying to still keep going, man up, you know, face it all. And, you know, we're all going through this uncertainty, and it's probably quite frightening for many of us, whatever your sex, really, you know what I mean? So basically, to imagine what, you know, you've actually just put it onto paper pretty much, you know, possibly it's Spirit explaining somebody's experience, and I'm sure there'll be others that responded to this even more so, saying, well, you know what, you've just spoken about me, like as you've said to you before. But yeah, it kind of explains or coins some of the conversations I've had in the past year with people that have tried to keep a brave front, you know, in the face of all of this going on, and, you know, pandemics, etc., and all that uncertainty, and trying to be, you know, lead a family and be that support for everyone else, but they've not actually received their hug, as you said in your words, and nobody's checked in with them to see how they're keeping. So it's a brave and very stark reminder for us all to say, you know, check in with our menfolk as well as, you know, everyone else. Women are very good at this kind of thing, you know, with each other, but sometimes we kind of overlook the men and sort of say, you know what, they'll get on with it. You know, they've got they've got their armor on, they're okay, but not always so. So yeah, thank you for that. That's great.
Thank you very much for that. Do you have a second one? Because before I say anything, I would really love you to do the second.
We're a bit greedy on this show. We like, you know, we want a bit more. So we love that. So we're looking for another one.
And I will tell you why the first one speaks so much to me. You got a second one ready?
Okay. I can read, I'll give you a choice. I can read another piece from that collection, or I can read a piece, a domestic violence piece.
Do us the same piece, the same place.
The same collection. Okay. All right. This is Jerome and Jaden. I lost everything because of him. My house and my business gone. My relationships broken beyond repair. I was the clever one. My future was bright until he came along. He crept up on me like a thief in the night, holding me hostage. I was powerless. Every now and then he would leave. That's when I was free to be myself. Then before I knew it, he moved in permanently. Under the surface, I willed him away, but he refused to leave. He kept whispering in my ear as he lingered, attacking my state of mind. I'm in constant battle with my reflection, trying to win the war against my sanity.
Wow.
The first time I spoke to you, what shone through was authenticity.
Okay.
Your ability to lift the words and present it to the listener, and loved it. You shared with me a video, and I watched it again, and it spoke to me. And every time I watched those videos, it reassured me of hope, confidence in humanity. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for what you do with words. Thank you for the courage that, in spite of all the challenges and the things that we sometimes go through as human beings, we find a way to bring hope to people. Thank you for that. But the first one spoke to me. A lot of men go through dark pages in their lives, but never get anybody to encourage. Diary Survivor says reality very much on topic, especially with what I'm doing at work with Working Parents Network. She's right. Women are better able to be vulnerable and offload. We got to look out for our brothers. Thank you, Diary Survivor. You know, and it spoke to me. It did speak to me. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Can we please do the domestic violence one?
Okay.
Let's do that one. And after that, we'll go for music, come back. And if you can, do us a fourth one. Prepare for a fourth one. And we would love to get a fourth one. And if you can even do a fifth one, Simone and I will be glad.
I will quickly say, just want to, I'm with the domestic violence piece. I am part of a collective called Poetic Voices Against Domestic Violence. And we are having an online event. You can book it, it's free through Eventbrite on this Saturday, the 24th.
Right.
At 7 p.m. That's on Eventbrite. You can follow us on Instagram at Poetic Voices 24/7.
Poetic Voices
24/7.
24/7. Okay, on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, and this Saturday we'll be doing readings, myself amongst various others in the collective, all based around domestic violence. Having a discussion. We'll be talking about people that are in these situations within faith groups, because people don't like to sort of venture into that avenue or talk about it as though it doesn't happen, and culturally as well and stuff. So yes, people, if you can tune in this Saturday, 7 p.m.
Thank you.
And we're just going to get in the nitty gritty and get down to some, and you'll be hearing from people that have actually gone through the situation themselves, and also people that have been, like the perpetrators and stuff. Right. So it's going to be a wide open conversation.
I'll be present. I will be present. I'll be present.
Yeah.
Let's do the
I've made notes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've just got a big up as well, Juliet Ray. She's a lady that, put this together. She's the root of the Poetic Voices and, bringing this all about and bringing us all together.
What's her name again?
Juliet.
Juliet.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's brought us all together for this anthology. And, hopefully it will go on and do great and wonderful things and bring about more awareness. And like I said, especially within faith groups and stuff. Yeah. So let me get into the piece.
Let's do it.
Okay. I watch daily as Dad used Mum to play the drum. In plain English, Dad beat Mum. Dad was fierce and strong. He was my protector, though he did wrong. He was always good to me, despite acting violently. I was seeing Val, who's kind of wimpish. I prefer a guy to be more ruggish. So I'm now with Kirk. Some say he's a jerk, but to me he's really great, even though he despises all my mates. Some say he's possessive. I see it as overprotective because he cares so much for me. Why can't others see? On the floor I lay. Kirk's had a bad day. He lashed out and slapped me straight in my mouth. And I tripped and slipped, but he didn't really mean it. He hugs me. I feel better. He apologizes for his behavior. I look at him. Man, he looks so good. Ruggish, like a real man should. Ouch. It's not that hard of a blow after all, it's what I know. Kirk reminds me of Dad. Though he gets mad, I need him in my life. Anyway, it could be worse. He looks after me, puts money in my purse. Others have a lack of tolerance. I don't. I stand by my man. I show this in my acceptance. That's right, my acceptance. Day in, day out. Week in, week out. Years in, years out. Years in, years out. Then one day something changed. I changed. During that time, I had many a question, one being, do I have to tolerate what I consider as my fate or kick him out and change a trait, making excuses when he's irate, stepping to me to perpetrate? No more. His excuses are poor. I now know my worth, don't need to curse because I have the first to make myself greater than the perpetrator who I excused any time I was bruised. Now it's game over wherever you are, you lose. I saw myself as a victim, blamed it on my surroundings, but really it was just an excuse to leave myself open to abuse. But I have a choice to be blinded or listen to the voice that tells me to get out because this is not what life's about. Kirk couldn't believe when I found the courage to up and leave. Once close, now so far apart as I venture on with my new start.
No. Wow, that takes your breath away, doesn't it? Because you can always picture the scenario, especially when you've acted out those words as well. And I can see where the theatre side of it interplays and where that takes a lot of energy from you. So where you've done the collaborations as well in the past and had performers perform your words for you on stage. It's just amazing that you've actually told that story and given the whole narrative from beginning, middle to end. And I can't even find the right words for it, but it's just thank you for sharing that. It's just, it's breathtaking.
You know, Reality. Usually I have a lot to say.
Excuse me.
Usually I have a lot to say. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You can get in touch with Reality. It's info at all about. It's on the screen. All about -us.com, and her numbers are on the screen. 07830 390 470. 07830 390 470. This Saturday. Say that again.
Oh, as also, although I'm not great on social media, my social media is Keep It Reality. That's my YouTube. And it's Keep It Reality for Insta as well. But it's just keep_it_reality. Reality spelt with an IE on the end.
Thank you. Thank you. Find a way to connect with her. It's going to be on our YouTube channel. This whole conversation is going to be on our YouTube channel. Go back and watch it, listen to it. You can download this whole conversation on our app on Fantastic Radio UK to be able to listen to it again. We're going to get our way out. We're literally going to find our way out. But please do us a nice and a last point as we begin to walk our way, because it's we love your work. So do that for us. And lastly, let me say this. This Saturday, you join Poetic Voices 247 at 7 p.m. as they discuss domestic violence and everything to do with domestic violence. Please, let's go get the ticket on. Is it Eventbrite? Yes?
Yes, you'll find it.
Let's go on Eventbrite. Let's get the ticket.
Domestic violence. Yeah.
That's right. Let's get a ticket and let's go in there and be part of it. Now, is the lady called Juliet Ray?
Yes.
Okay. Juliet Ray, wherever you're listening, whenever you have time and you are available to talk, myself and Simone will want to go deeper and see how best we can support Poetic Voices 247. Do us a last poem. And after that, if you don't hear any other thing from us, it means that we have finished our conversation. We finished everything. So on behalf of Simone and on behalf of the Fantastic Radio team, we have Reality, who is walking us out of the door. Reality is down to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we say bye-bye to you and have a great day. Reality, over to you now.
Okay. Good morning and welcome to Real News. There's a deadly virus that's hit the street known as BBM. BBM is threatening to wipe out all of mankind. BBM attacks fathers' emotional systems until there is nothing left. Here's Reality with some words of wisdom about this deadly virus. BBM is also known as bitter baby mama. People, gather around and listen. I'm here to tell you I'm vexed about some of my sister's decisions, the way they act towards some of my brothers, because they no longer want them as lovers. So they start acting all crazy, saying things like, you ain't gonna see your baby. In times when we need male leaders, you're foolishly turning them into male bleeders, draining them of all their emotions, rolling them into a ball of confusion, questioning, but he's my child too. He should spend time with me as he does with you. Sisters, they left you, not the children. So why are you causing unnecessary problems? I acknowledge the fact that you've been hurt, but do you really need to drag him through the dirt? In regards to his children, he's being a man. There are plenty of fathers that don't give a damn. Go ask a single parent mother who would happily exchange a lover for a father. If he's saying he's more than able, then let him bring his piece of pie to the table. And your children can have double the share and know everyone around them truly cares, instead of pointless arguments and laying blame, dragging up old emotions and playing games. You're not home till 7, but telling him to come at 6 and all those kind of tricks. You can see them today. Oh, no, you can't. I forgot they've got to go and see their aunt. And don't be bringing them around your new woman because she's not me. Please, if your child's not in danger, then just let it be. I understand it can be hard to move on, but sis, when the love's gone, it's just gone. Concentrate on what's important, the children, and please, please stop carelessly using them as ammunition. Thank you.
The empowering conversations with our guests, the riveting music we share with you. Thank you for choosing Fantastic Radio UK, home of possibilities.